You're welcome to the AM Club right here on MX24. My name is Miriam Udwak Mensah. You're welcome. Now, today we're having a beautiful conversation because I know you want to know what it takes to be a marriage material. And today we have the right guest for the conversation. Joining me in the studio is, in fact, Mrs. Mamle Benisan. Today she's here alone. Today, I don't have my partner, so she also doesn't have her partner. There's no way God will make me fail in this life. Because how would I have managed you and your husband on this show? God, you love me too much. So, Lady Mamle is here.
Hi, baby.
And joining us for the very, very first time, Dr. Prince Miguel. He is a man of God, a servant of God. Not a very humble one, but yeah. Okay. I said that only God knows. I was going to say a very humble man, but that's like not a very humble one. But that tells you the relationship we have. This is an incredible gentleman. I met him a couple of years ago.
Yes, a couple of years ago.
And I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better friend. I really respect him and appreciate him. I see him carry the work of God with grace. Tenacity. Swag kakrani, I sprinkle a little bit of steez and composure.
And composure. Oh,
hey.
I can feel the steez.
I can feel the composure. Yeah, sprinkle a bit of steez and composure.
I can feel it.
When Dr. Miguel appears, you know.
Exactly.
You know that a man of God, a man of God has entered the room. Presence.
Yeah.
The man of God. Good morning, good morning,
good morning.
It's actually really good to have you. Family in the house.
Yes.
Yeah, Jay is watching. Jay, shout outs to you. Lady Mamle is asking of you.
Yes.
Hope to see you soon. I miss you. My co-host, he's not here today.
Oh, okay.
I miss him a lot, especially on Fridays. All right. So we're going to be seeing him very soon back on the show.
Yes.
Surprise in the room, but we'll move on.
Ooh.
We'll move on.
Okay.
So let's go straight into the topic for this morning. One would say that the basics that we were taught at home is enough for someone to just zoom into marriage when they are of marital age. And one would say that it takes more to be a marriage material, or for someone to say that this one is good enough.
Yes.
I think a couple of days ago, my friend and I were having a conversation on the phone. I told her, listen, these boys nowadays, they don't have structure. As long as they feel they marry.
Yes.
Because I don't... See, there are people that, my own best, I've told you that, I think I mentioned this before, that most of my friends are male.
Yes, you did.
I think I have very few female friends. And these guys, the women they fall in love with, they will not allow me to be those women. So I ask myself, how is it that you could never put up with me being this person, but then again, you would marry someone exactly like this? So then I told myself that, listen, you know what, these guys, they don't have structure. They marry who they like.
Yes.
And they will do anything for who they like. It's not about the character and what have you.
No.
But then there apparently is a standard for marriage. So I'm going to start with the man, even though ladies first.
All right.
Let's start with the man. This is his first time. Dr. Miguel. So we're going to talk about the traits of an individual that makes them perfect. Like once you see these things about them, you say, you know what, this person is good and ready for marriage.
Okay. Good morning, and good morning to your cherished viewers. Thank you so very much for having me this morning. And thank you for also bringing this topic up. It's a very sensitive topic that needs to be treated with grace and certain level of understanding. When it comes to the matters of relationship, it's a bit complicated. So you would realize that when you go into the scriptures, from the Old Testament into the New Testament in particularly, you'll realize that it will be a very sensitive topic that will not easily be addressed even by our Lord and Savior Jesus himself. That is how sensitive this particular topic is. And so if we want to identify a person who is ready for marriage, we're looking at the word marriage material. Marriage material. So we are looking at two words. We're looking at the word material and the word marriage. Marriage means to merge two hearts, specifically male and female. Material means to weave threads together, meaning that there are things you put together to qualify to become that material. So if those things are not put together well or woven together well, then you can partake in the activities of marriage, but you will not be the material. Hence, a lot of people rush into it and they run out quickly because marriage doesn't stand on the same pedestal with normal platonic relationships. In penetrating onto the lower, forgive what I just said.
That's it.
No,
When-
it's allowed.
Yeah.
When you're flowing in the busting in all the we just met yesterday, I'm blushing, I love you, I
Butterflies
want
in
to
your
see you,
stomach.
all the butterflies in your
The
stomach and all.
dopamines and the...
You understand what I'm saying, and it feels like it's like you are the person I've been waiting for. It's not the same when you transit into the marital home because we're dealing with material. The question is, are you that material? For example, because I'm a man, I'm going to attack it from a certain angle.
Absolutely.
Let's look at the word wife. What will make a woman a wife? A married man doesn't make a woman a wife. So you were not a wife the day you got married. And 10 years after, you're still not a wife. Because wife is not something that is made at marriage. Wife is something that is made before the marriage.
Did you know this?
Yes.
Are you following now?
Here we go.
So, for example, you say,
Reason why
okay,
she's not married. I didn't know this.
so you can say something like, okay, now I have the ring, now I'm the wife. No. That's a wrong notion. No, you must be a wife before. So the Bible says in Proverbs 18:22, he who findeth a wife. So you were already a wife before you were found.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So the question is, who builds a wife? Not husbands, no. Mentors and fathers build wives. So when you are not married, that is the time that you need to look for that mentorship over you to build you into the wife material so that someone will find you. So by the time you were found, you were already a wife. So it is not the ring that makes you a wife.
A wife. So you agree with the statement that there are traits of a woman which qualifies them to be married to a man.
The
Yes.
problem is the transitions. A girl, a lady, a woman, a wife,
A wife.
a mother. 5 transitions. So you're born as a girl, you become a lady in your early teens. As a girl child, your environment is your parents. Your introduction is your parents, your guardians. When you become a lady, your environment becomes your peers.
Yes.
At school, your friends, everybody. Then you become a young lady or a woman. When you come into womanhood, now your affiliate becomes a direct, intentional journeying into understanding the anatomy of the opposite sex. So this is where you are intentionally introduced to a man. And so that is the time I'm for being where's your boyfriend? Meanwhile, before then, you were being prevented from
Yes.
dating. No, you're too young. You can be talking to guys at this time. But when you come into that transition, now you are asked, why are you not walking? Why are you walking around with that man?
Yeah.
Where's your boyfriend? Now that is the time that you need to gather the materials that makes you a wife. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people are stuck between the lady and the woman. Never become a wife till they marry.
Okay, so now tell me the trait of a wife. Because me that I'm seeing it like this, I know I have a lot of wife qualities. So
Okay.
start naming them. Let me see if I can find them. Mommy don't laugh, I'm busy.
I'm taking the
I'm busy.
boxes as he...
So please
Okay,
give
so
us the
for
traits
example,
of a wife.
what brings out the traits of a wife? A woman is not required to submit. It is a wife that is required to submit. So if you've not activated the submission box, you are a woman.
Okay.
You are not
A wife.
a wife.
Oh, why?
Okay. Number one.
So that is a growth. Because submission doesn't mean inferior. Submission means position. It's a strategic positioning. So it is not inferior, as we've been taught earlier.
Yeah.
I get into what I'm saying. Number 2, a wife material is that a wife is a builder as the husband is a leader. The wife is the builder.
Oh.
is the builder, not the husband. It's the wife who's the builder. Number 3, the wife is a multiplier.
Okay.
Okay, I love the wife. The wife is the multiplier. Watch this. In the wife realm, when you're given groceries, you produce a stew or a soup. When you're given a sperm, you produce a baby. When you're given 100 cities, it has to be turned into 1,000 cities. So that is what we call a multiplier.
Right, right.
So a man, a woman, a wife doesn't deplete. A wife appreciates. A wife arts up.
Okay.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4. A wife is a help meet, which is the original name given by God. You know, God didn't call the woman Eve. It was Adam that called him Eve. God called him a helpmeet. A helpmeet means there is a standard, there is a target, and it takes this awesome wife to help the man reach that target. So when a wife comes into the life of a man, whatever the man is seeking to achieve, it should be 10 times easier. So if you are dating or you are getting married and life becomes much more difficult, you have to begin to question your companionship.
Ooh. Wow.
Because it takes 2 to tango. It takes 2 to make it much more easier. And to say, Iba, into the picture. Whatever I'm doing should be fast forwarded. If it's going to take me a year to achieve something, and you come into my life as a wife, it should take me 3 months. Now, this brings me to the 5th thing.
Okay.
The 5th thing. A wife is a goddess of consciousness.
Explain, sir. I know you have to explain. You really have to explain. I didn't bring my encyclopedia. Please explain.
A wife is a goddess of consciousness.
Okay. What does it mean?
Okay, this is what it means. The woman or the female was already born conscious in life. Men, on the other hand, grow into consciousness. That is why as early as 2-3 years, you started covering yourself already. You have this little baby that you put at your back and you carry the baby at your back as little as you are not in puberty yet. You're just a little child. Are you getting what I'm saying? Now, this consciousness is what we call the deepest realm of creativity. The deepest realm of creativity. This is the realm where creation takes place. This is the reason why a woman can receive something as watery as a sperm and incubate it for 9 months, and a human being will be born. That's a goddess of consciousness. This will mean that the current standard of any man's life is the exact mindset of the wife. Let me repeat it again.
Please do.
The current standard of any man. If the man is married, their standard now, their class now, is the exact energy point of the wife. So if the wife's energy point is lower, the man will be broke. If the wife's energy point is higher, the man will be rich. You don't want it, don't marry. Because it is inevitable.
Y'all, I mean, I really want to just move on. Doctor, do I fall in any part of the equation? Because that is my, as in, people send message, validate, because me myself, I'm shaking. I don't know where. But I think, Mamli.
I think
I'm there.
halfway.
I'll be fine. Because the fact that you are telling me right now that a woman is not a wife when she's given the ring.
When she's given the ring, no.
she is a wife before she's given the ring, actually makes it really difficult for a lot of people to understand that, oh, you have to do all the things. Because, you know, in recent times, the campaign is that don't do all that things that you do. You know, dating someone is not a rehearsal for marriage.
No.
It's what is being purported, especially
purported, yes.
on our social media platforms. Like, you know, why are you doing all of that? Why are you cleaning? Why are you doing all? And I'm like, okay, I'm thinking that, okay, maybe not the cleaning and cooking, but what then do you do?
Yeah.
So if you're not cooking and cleaning and you're not supporting the man's business, so what are you doing as a girlfriend? I think about that a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I know that there were times, not in my life, but in a certain girl's life,
Okay.
where she was doing a lot in her relationships. And I mean, the complaints were just a lot. Yeah, you men will think you're cheap, men will think you're too available, you know, hide yourself. And I'm thinking like, okay, so what?
Yeah.
So in a relationship, and me.
No, I get you. I get you.
Hey. What do you then do in the relationship whilst you're dating the person? Do you continue to receive? Because some of these men are like high-valued men who like look out for their
You're
women.
right.
Mm-hmm.
You're
They're
right.
looking for the like
You're
what
right.
you need. Like you're talking, I'm hearing, I'm providing before you even say it.
Yeah.
So when a man is going all out like this, what then do I do?
Yeah.
If I'm not supposed to do all the things that wifeys are supposed to do, with the exception of sex, by the way. Because you put I can't put into trouble. But before we get into all this nagging, let's talk about the other side, which is the men.
The men.
What makes a man a marriage material for a woman to get? Because we're asking you because you chose like a very high valued man. And as we are sitting here like this man just appeared in studio. I thought he wasn't coming, right? I had to give the man half. I was like, he never leaves his handbag alone. So let's talk about
All right, so
yeah.
taking it from the perspective of men,
Yeah.
you equally need to be a husband before finding the wife.
Okay.
You don't become the husband once you find the wife and you start finding your feet. So there are 5 R's that makes a man.
Oh.
Yes. Number one,
write them.
relationship. Yes, relationship. It started from the man having relationship with God in the garden. You know, men like up there, they have the authority in the family. They're the ones who have the vision. They're the ones who hold the purpose for which the union is coming together. So number one, having a relationship with God, a man who is God-fearing is like topmost priority. Otherwise, who is mentoring you? I mean, if you don't have a physical father, spiritually, how are you being fed? To be able to transfer that to your wife, to your spouse, to your home. So having a relationship with God is excellent. Now, number 2, having a residence. There are men who badly want to get married, but they're living with their parents, or they're pitching somewhere. You know, they just don't have that independence life, so even know how to cater for themselves, pay bills, put things together, know how to even manage wherever they live. The Bible says the two shall leave and cleave. Where are they cleaving to? Like a man, if you're, maybe imagine your husband to be is coming for you. Where is he taking you to?
That's it.
He definitely needs a residence.
important.
You know, so even as you grow up, you're coming up as a man, having a relationship with God, powerful. Now having residence is very necessary. Number 3, God placed man in the garden to be resourceful. You know, having something to do, having work. You don't just get up, stay at home. There are some people who think it will happen. Maybe see, you don't have a plan, you don't have a structure, you don't have like a vision.
Yeah.
You know, for where you want to go. God placed Adam in the garden to take care of the garden, cater for the garden, prune, you know, get to know how the things work, how the plants are growing, how to prune, cater. It all builds your capacity to even take care of a woman.
That's it. You're right.
You know, without all these experiences, women, we are in our own world.
Yeah.
We like the attention, we like the care, we like the love, we love all the nice things. So if you don't find yourself in a place where you are nurturing yourself, so that's where God plays man, you know, in the garden for resource. Now responsibility. He left him there. That's the next R. That's the 4th R. He left him there to cater, to take care, be responsible, be in charge. There are certain men who just let things fly as they should, but you have to be responsible. A responsible man. You know, lately the young ladies would rather go for the married men. Why? Because they say, oh, they're more responsible. They are more caring. They will take care of the home. You know, so as a man, before you even think of a wife, you need to be very responsible. Now, the fifth R is to have restrictions. Like a man who doesn't have boundaries.
Oh my God.
Like having
That thing
boundaries.
irks me out.
Exactly. There are people
Yeah.
who are just easygoing. Everything cannot work if you really want to be in a position where you want to have a home, a wife. You know, women, sometimes, let's be honest, we can be very petty. If you don't have boundaries or restrictions, like you're receiving phone calls, late hours, and you don't see any problem with it, you're entertaining. You know, women, we have like the tendency of just seeing fire, even when it's just kerosene. We just know that it will spark.
We've added the matches to it.
Added
It's fire already
for
before
us, it has already sparked.
Yeah.
You know, so a man who doesn't have restrictions, I think is a no-go area. Now, these are the 5 men, 5 R's that makes a
that
man.
makes a man.
That
Do you
makes a
think
man.
that societal norms have made the marriage material thing? Okay, so has it evolved over time? Has it
Yes.
changed
Yes.
with time
It
because
has.
of the evolvement of our society and the minds of people over the years? I mean,
Should I?
Oh, you can
No,
go.
oh,
Okay.
I mean,
Otherwise,
okay,
for
go.
example, a country like Mauritania, okay, for physical look, I mean, back in the days, people like fleshy women. If I was in Mauritania right now, I'm sure I'd have been a single woman.
your
Because
life.
beauty in Mauritania is flesh
It's flesh.
and fat. And that's where you get a good husband. You know, he's looking for the flesh, you know, but it has really evolved. And right now, we're looking at inward character. Look at Vashti and Queen Esther.
Yeah.
Vashti means physical beauty, outward beauty. Esther means a star with hidden qualities. Now we've overlooked the outward appearance and, you know, coming with all the weight to finding like a godly character, a godly woman, someone who, like he said, submissive, someone who is respectful. Men live on respect. People actually think that men live on food. You can actually be
They actually
feeding
know
your
that sheep.
husband, just being disrespectful, and he might not even enjoy the food because you're just not providing the right thing that a man needs. So it has moved from physical appearance, the outward appearance, to the inward beauty.
beauty.
Has it evolved? Yes, it has. And I agree with the woman of God for that matter. The problem we're having currently in our society is this, that there are things that are allowed to evolve, and there are things that are not allowed to
I
evolve.
love that.
For example, until Jesus will return, to gain fruit, you must always put a seed into a soil. This is a permanent law. You can change it. It doesn't evolve. A seed needs to go into the soil.
Yeah.
A tree needs to come out.
Yes.
Fruits needs to be, fruits needs to come out.
Yes.
Then we can enjoy the fruits. The same thing with marriage. Society will evolve, but if society tries to evolve marriage, marriage will fail.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? That was why I laid the premise. There are things that are allowed
Yes.
to evolve, and there are things that are not allowed to evolve. For example, she says something and it's very profound. And I'm going to marry it to something that I said from the beginning. There is nowhere in the scriptures that a woman is commanded to submit. Submission is for the wife.
Yes.
Now, let the wife submit unto her husband, not the woman. Are you getting what I'm saying? If not, then every man will be going around bullying every woman.
Yes.
Don't you know the Bible says you should submit? No. Where the woman's submission comes into play is where the man plants his destiny into the consciousness of the woman. Because the woman now becomes the soil that builds what the man is bringing on, whether it's a vision, whether it's a dream, whether it's an aspiration, whatever God is bringing to the man. The woman becomes that fertility ground. This is why the woman is commanded to submit. Submit means to become the soil. Submit, 2 words. Subject to the mission. So the woman becomes a subject to the mission. That's what submission is. It doesn't mean inferior. It means position yourself where I can plant my vision in you, so the vision will grow.
Yeah.
Are you getting what I'm saying? So why is society struggling with the matters of marriage? It's because society is evolving and we're trying to evolve
Yes.
marriage. Mama can't be in plain words, huh? One of the most someone we ask me a marriage. Now let me say it again. Let me say it again.
Okay, and explain.
Let me reiterate. One of the most if you want marriage to work, it must stay simple,
It must stay
colloquial.
as archaic as possible.
Archaic.
Yes.
Oh,
Once you try to use words like, in the 21st century, in the marriage has nothing to do with 24th century. Are you getting what I'm saying now? The woman needs to play her role, the man needs to play his role, and we're just good to go. For example, she says something, I'm going to reiterate what he said again. Men virtually love because of respect. That's all. Respect.
Noted, right?
noted. I just put it down.
Mama Nkasa Mincho.
Sorry.
On the general terms, right? There are things that triggers men into loving.
Yeah.
If a man is going to have good sex, the premise is respect. If the man is going to eat good food, the premise is respect. If the man is going to provide well, the premise is respect. If the man is going to be a protector, the premise is respect. If the man is going to be the pathfinder for the marital institution, the premise is respect. Have you realized that I've not mentioned love?
Yes.
Now let me put the icing on the cake. If the man is going to love you, the premise is respect.
And you people know. And you people know what you talk about because I don't know that one.
Oh, what do you want in term?
Because, so I guess Kwame, who's watching right now, all my friends, I've divorced all of them today because they teach me wrong things. And this is why. I have two friends who got married.
Okay.
One of them is about to get married. We're still in the process of planning, my best friend. And he was telling me the reason why he chose the girl. And I'll tell you what. Not that I don't think the girl respects him, but he never mentioned that.
Okay.
The reason for choosing this woman is that the lady aligns with his purpose.
Right.
The things he wants to do, the girl has the brain for it, right? So for him, God literally just put this girl on his path for the success of his
vision.
vision.
Yeah.
Now, my other friend, who is, by the way, now married, was with a woman that we all thought that, this is happening, as in, this is the woman we choose for him.
Yeah.
And everybody accepted. But when he introduced to us his wife, everybody was shocked, and we asked him why. He said, Mimi, I'm marrying for purpose. This particular woman is good for my now. She has that look, presence, vibe.
Yes.
We're best friends. They were good friends. Like, as in when you meet them, it's fire, right? But he said, when I look into my future, first and foremost, she's young. She's now coming up. She's now getting excited about life.
Right.
Me marrying her right now is truncating that process for her. And he addressed an issue of mine. He said, let's talk about you. When you gave birth at a teenage age, you became an adult almost immediately. Because you couldn't be a child anymore. You're a mother now.
That is it.
Your childhood was truncated, like your teenage life was totally truncated.
Yeah.
You won't find it again, and that's why sometimes they told me that's why we are a little patient with you, because we feel like the baby in you is still alive.
Still alive.
So let's just baby her. But this woman that I met is ready for my future. She is my purpose driver.
Yes.
So I'm marrying her because of that, and I'll love her later. And really and truly, he never really loved the girl. But she kind of had things about her that made him feel like, this girl is the one that $1 million company I'm building, this is the girl I'm going to, and they're doing it now.
Yeah.
But my worry is that when there's not the foundation of love and all that butterfly in your stomach, can it sustain marriage?
Okay.
And that is how now we're looking at it as, marriage material is different from each other.
Yes.
That's why that's what
Yes.
necessitated the initial question of whether they are traits.
Yes.
And these ones that you mentioned, they are not material. The things that you mentioned, there's not one of it that is very material. It's all character.
Yes.
So tell me, these people that are marrying based on this, so that they are watching, advise them.
So I'll cite an example in the Bible. Abraham sends his servant to get a wife for his son Isaac. And the servant said a prayer to God because he had traveled a long journey until he got to a destination where he was taking a break. And then he said a prayer to God and said, if I find a woman who gives me water and gives my camel water, I will take her as a wife. Like that's the criteria he was looking at to take the person as a wife for his master's son. There are people who have different reasons why they look out for a wife. This person was probably looking out for someone who would really care for his master's son, take care of the master's son, and that's it. For some people, they are looking at someone who is intellectually intelligent, who will push their vision like you're saying. For others, they're looking for someone who is adventurous and wild, and they are good to go. You know, so it just differs from who and what you're looking for. So it can vary in so many ways. Mimi, if I may ask you, what are you looking for in your husband? Maybe you're looking for someone who will shower you with love, money, and pampering. Your husband is probably looking for someone who will be cooking, you know, and taking care of the home.
Yeah.
And you might not want to be a woman who just wants to be at home. You know, so you might find people getting married and then sitting back and thinking, hey, I think I'm a marriage material, but nobody is finding me. It's just because the people who are finding you have different expectations. That's why, not because you're not a good married material, you're just not finding the right people to fit in into their vision. Because the Bible says, for this reason, a man shall live. So there's a purpose. You know, Mr. Miguel is a man of God, I must say. So he was probably looking out for a woman who can push his vision. Someone who is not so aggressive, because he's dealing with human beings. He's dealing with other people.
Yeah.
Someone who is calm, someone who is just not all over the place, who is quick-tempered, who will just shake tables when, you know, is angry. But someone who understands people. Someone who even understands his vision is very important to look out for these things.
I think she said a ton of it, and that's very powerful. Yes, it's true. A lot of people find themselves in various relationships with various desires,
Yes.
various choices. But just like every house is built on a foundation, whether it's being a skyscraper or it's just a one-bedroom house, the premise will be called a foundation.
Vision, exactly.
So that whether the design is beautiful or is not beautiful, it still needs a foundation.
Foundation.
So the reason why I was building the premise on respect, then I'll marry. So for example, I'm looking for a woman who will help me build a vision. But my foundation for choosing that woman is she must respect me.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm so glad that you actually answered that, because I don't know what your submission was, but I was going to tell you that, okay, so where does all this respect and what have you come to
So
play?
it brings into light what the woman of God is talking about. Whatever the reason is,
Yes.
there has to be a foundation.
Foundation.
Because if the woman is a visionary and a vision builder, like I stated from the beginning, the woman is the builder, not the man.
Yes.
The man is the dreamer. The man is the visionary. The man is the one that brings God on the scene. But the woman is the one with the womb. She's the one that incubates everything and turns it into a reality. So the woman is the manifestation of the man's intelligence, or the man's intellect, or the man's vision, or the man's imaginative power. That is why she is the goddess of consciousness. I get it what I'm saying. So whether you're helping me build a vision, I want you in the jungle, I want you in the wild, I want you in the horizons, I want the craziest girl ever, I want the calmest girl ever. The premise, the foundation is this. You have to respect me. Because that is what drives the man. The funniest part of it is this. There are men who will marry women for adventure and leave them in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
Because later on, no matter what they are looking for, they'll still be watching out for the respect.
Yes.
I love her. She's crazy in bed. She's a monster. I love the way she handles me. I love the way she talks. She's eloquent. She's bold. And when you give her something, she turns it into gold. But Umwazi, No, onwards
The
because
face he made.
no, onwards because for example, forgive me if I'm going to use you and your man of God,
Okay.
which is your husband,
Yes.
as an example. Where he stands is extremely sensitive for you to disrespect him.
Yes.
Why? Because the church members are not his first congregation members. The wife is. So if the wife goofs, it's a sign that he can be a good leader. So Obobuan with vision for God to grace them with a 30,000 auditorium and fill the place to capacity. Because she's standing by her husband to build all this. It's beautiful, but what everybody's looking for is not the structure. What everybody's looking for is not the masses that are gathered. What everybody's looking for is the builder behind the dreamer. If the builder shows goodwill, submissive to the visionary, everybody will go like, I want to marry someone like mommy. Because that's how they'll be calling you at church.
Yeah.
I want to marry, yeah. Go and understudy mommy, go and understudy mommy.
Yeah.
So mommy then becomes the template.
Yes.
And to look at her, she's helping a visionary to build a vision. That is what every sensible man is looking for. What is the premise? Respect. Then by the end of the day, say I mean, there are qualms in relationships. There are confusions in relationships. There are quarrels in relationships. But if the premise is respect, the way and manner at which we even address each other makes us come out as refined as gold.
Yes.
Why? Because qualms, whims and caprices in relationships are necessities. It is some more relationship, both of you are sick. You are either acting or you're pretending.
Right.
Why? Because the refined aspect of you comes out when there is a misunderstanding. The way and manner at which we address each other. Now I'm angry at you. How do I address you?
Yeah.
Now you're pissed at me.
Yeah.
How do you address me? Then we are growing. Then we are growing into each other. Then we are growing into each other. Then we know. That is where you know who respects who.
Yes.
Can I look at a woman that I share nakedness with and say, you dirty pig?
Yes.
God!
Never.
Then in the night, baby, I'm sorry, I didn't mean, because now you're feeling sexual. Are you crazy? And unfortunately, there are a lot of people who are doing that. You cannot insult her in the morning and sleep with her in the evening. That's over the bar. Why? Because the foundation is destroyed. And the Bible is clear. If the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do?
Oh my God, if you're just joining in the conversation, you've missed quite a lot, but you can't actually go back on X and then get the entire interview or this entire conversation right on X on MX24GH. Hey, we have, hey. Okay, well, let's move on.
Yeah, soaking it in, man.
You see, God is not from Alata. You know, he had, there are certain people who are not married, and you wonder, oh, this girl, she's so nice. Why is she not married? Oh, this man is so nice. But there are reasons, and sometimes it's necessary for the growth. So I want to say big shout outs to Lady Rosemond Prempe, my refining fire. Let's move on. And I've said it here. Now, so we're going to wrap up this conversation by talking about, like, you know, some of the traits that are commonly talked about and associated to marriage that are really misleading or actually untrue. Like, you know, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes. So there's a notion of there being a perfect person out there. Like having to find that perfect person. Everyone is looking for a perfect person. But like I like what he touched base on, getting to the end, that until things come, until challenges come, that's when you get refined.
Yeah.
So mind you, there's no perfect person out there. Nobody is perfect. You just need to be willing to become a better version of yourself. So that notion of I need to find a perfect man, especially with the height and the six packs and things. Because maybe as I look at you, you know, the combination doesn't add up like that. That's why I'm looking for someone who is tall, with some six pack, dark. You know what I'm saying? But trust me, you get to know like the character traits of that person. It completely puts you off.
Yeah.
By the time you realize, there's this 5-inch man who is just showing you all the
All
love.
of it.
You know. So the perfection is just wrong. There are other people who just have wild expectations, like they're in a fairy tale, you know. Like I wake up, my husband needs to hold my feet off the bed. Like you watch too much movies. Like you need to say that.
Telenovelas.
Telenovelas, you know these telenovelas, trust me, they are blinding so many. It's as though like you wake up and then he brings you like roses or breakfast in bed. I mean, it can happen sometimes, but you need to really hit life as a reality. You know that if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't,
he's not there. Dr. Miguel, please, your final.
I love the premise from where the woman of God always builds from, you know. First of all, let's establish this. Love is work.
yeah.
Love is nothing short of work. So if you are not willing to work, don't love. Keep on playing around. Keep on messing around. Keep on doing whatever thing that you want to do. But don't you ever make an attempt to cohabitate with someone, because it is work. Why are we building this foundation? You were raised by a different parents. I am raised by a different parents. So we definitely come together from different angles with different values, different understandings, different approaches to life, different perceptions, different heartbeats. So what then is the commonality? What is the grounds that brought us together? What brought us together was what we will call a chemistry. Something that I desire in a woman, something a woman desires in a man. So we come together and we say, okay, upon this premise, we are willing to work together. Now, working together is working together.
Yes.
Let me say it again. Working together is working together. So can two walk together except they be agreed? Amos 3:3. How are they being agreed? Work.
Yes.
Work. So if we can accept each other as it being a classroom, if I love you, I should accept you as a classroom.
Yes.
What do we do in the classroom?
We learn.
We learn, we sit and study. Because if you don't take care, then I meet you overnight and I want you to be turned into an angel. I've known my wife for 17 years. And I'm still getting to know her more. 17 years, it feels like we're just warming up.
Hey, sir.
Yes.
Boy.
We just feel like we're just warming up. Because there are times she pulls out she'll pull out something and I go like, hey, none of me the way she go now. I'm done now. Back in the way now a movie.
I see that.
And then you go like, okay, so this triggered that and so no, I said, okay, that's okay. Even including last night. Okay?
I see.
Yes, including last night. So, I mean, we're just lying there and I'm just looking at her and there's tears in her eyes. And I told her, you are learning, I am learning, and we're going to pull through this.
I love that. I love that. Okay, that assurance is what I want for. That's the quality. That's the quality I want in my man. I beg. I'm trouble. I beg. I beg. I beg. Okay, you have an event coming up. Do you want to touch on it briefly before we wrap up?
Oh, thank you very much. So tomorrow at Meckling Hotel, Business Light Encounter. So I'm a business coach.
Okay.
And I'm also a life coach. So tomorrow from 8 o'clock to 2 p.m., I'll be teaching on the mysteries of business. The reason why someone is rich and the reason why someone is poor. We'll be talking about a lot of things that are not common in the system. I'm not talking about 3 ways to grow your business and 4 ways to... No. If you want that one, go on YouTube and just go and Google that one. That is not... We're talking about the mysteries of business. Things that happens behind the scene that are not seen by the common man. For example, if a rich person stands on his podium to teach people, he will say, I did this, I invested in this bond and this shares and this whatever and this crypto. These are the things that he's telling you on the face value. What he's not telling you is what is behind the scene. Now, this is what I'll be teaching tomorrow.
What time is it?
8 o'clock.
Micklin Hotel.
Micklin Hotel.
Is in East Legon?
Yes,
Yes.
East Legon.
8
Micklin
o'clock.
Hotel.
8 a.m.?
8 a.m.
Oh,
yes.
okay. So 8 a.m. tomorrow, we're going to
Yes.
learn mysteries of business
Yes.
at the Micklin Hotel. Please make sure to pass by. Let's have a good time as we learn. As you can see, the man has the capacity. Lady Mamle, thank you so much for coming. And
Thank
Dr.
you.
Miguel, so good seeing
Thank you, thank you,
today. I have
thank
not
you,
seen him
thank you,
in
brother.
how many? 2 years? Oh,
Fetch him. Fetch him.
no, we'll handle our issues. But today, you and I have learned to be better people, and we've learned what it means to be a marriage material right here on Lifestyle Daily, of course, on the AM Club. We'll be right back after this.